In the spotlight tonight is Don Young from Shaw in Lancashire, a retired teacher. His specialist subject is the life and reign of King Ludwig II of Bavaria. Wendy Forrester from London, a retired journalist. Hers is the Albert Campion novels of Marjorie Allingham. Brian Doherty from Portsmouth, a maths tutor, and his subject is the life and work of Erwin Schrödinger. And John Talon from Sutton Coldfield, a theatre nurse whose subject is British popular music from 1972 to 1984. Hello, I'm John Humphreys and welcome to the semi-finals of Mastermind, which means, of course, that all the contenders here tonight have already won an opening round. The winner tonight is guaranteed a place in the final with the chance of becoming our Mastermind champion. All they have to do is answer questions on their specialist subject in the first 2 minutes and then general knowledge in the second 2 minutes. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Don Young.
And your occupation?
Retired teacher.
Your subject last time around was Homer's Odyssey. Your subject tonight is?
The life and reign of Ludwig II of Bavaria. In
2 minutes, starting now, at which palace was the future Ludwig II born on the 25th of August, 1845?
Nymphenburg.
Correct. In February 1861, which was the first Wagner opera that Ludwig was allowed to see by his parents?
Lohengrin.
Correct. Ludwig had the Sendesaal in Neuschwanstein copied from the room in which castle where a famous singing contest was said to have been staged in the 13th century?
Wartburg.
Correct. Ludwig was under the custody of Dr. Bernhard von Gudden and which other psychiatrist after he was declared insane and taken from Neuschwanstein to Berg?
Müller.
Correct. Who represented Ludwig at the peace conference to end the Franco-Prussian War, which opened in Versailles in October 1870?
His brother Otto.
Correct. At which castle, capital of the Swan country, did Ludwig spend much of his childhood with his parents?
Hohenschwangau.
Correct. In October 1865, Ludwig went secretly to Switzerland to visit sites associated with which hero?
William Tell.
Correct. Within weeks of his accession, Ludwig dispatched Franz von Fichtermeister to search for Wagner. In which city did he eventually find him?
Stuttgart.
He did. Ludwig's marriage to Sophie, first set for August, was later arranged for what date in 1867, the anniversary of both his parents' and grandparents' marriages?
The 12th of October.
Yes. In which valley west of Oberammergau did Ludwig transform a humble hunting lodge into the Linderhof Palace?
The Graswangtal.
Yes. Which emperor took a great personal interest in Ludwig's visit to the Exposition Universelle in Paris in the summer of 1867?
Napoleon III.
Correct. Who was declared Prince Regent on the 10th of June 1886 after Ludwig was declared insane?
Luitpold.
Correct. The only public opening of the Landtag during Ludwig's reign should have taken place on the 22nd of May 1866. Why was it postponed until the 27th of May?
Because Ludwig went to visit Wagner.
He did. Who was the commander-in-chief of the southern armies in the Franco-Prussian War and as such was in control of Ludwig's army?
That was Crown Prince Friedrich.
It was. In June 1864, Ludwig paid a month-long visit to which spa town that had become the summer rendezvous of European royalty?
Kissingen.
Correct. And I hadn't started, so you have had your 2 minutes. You had no passes, Don Young. You got them all right. 15 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Wendy Forrester.
Your occupation?
Retired journalist.
Your specialist subject last time was Elizabeth Gaskell. This time it is?
The Albert Campion novels of Marjorie Allingham.
2 minutes, starting now. Which book, left unfinished at her death in June 1966, did Allingham's husband, Philip Youngman Carter, complete?
A Cargo of Eagles.
Yes. In which novel does Campion's future wife, Lady Amanda Fitton, make her first appearance?
Sweet Danger.
Yes. In The Crime at Black Dudley, how does Guffey Randall manage to stop Herr von Faber and his accomplices from escaping in the Lanchester?
Pass.
Which of Allingham's novels was filmed in 1956, but with the adapters of the novel omitting the character of Albert Campion?
Pass.
In Death of a Ghost, what was the name of the painter who had directed his wife to exhibit one of his pictures each year after his death?
John Lafcadio.
Correct. Which clinical condition does Campion have to overcome in Traitor's Purse?
Amnesia.
Yes. In The China Governess, what legend is written on a shawl that Timothy Kinnett's real mother wrapped him in before she died?
Pass.
The novel Sweet Danger is set in which fictional village based on Chapel in Essex where Allingham lived while writing the book?
Keepsake.
Point is bright. In Palace at the Funeral, what sort of hat is Campion wearing when Oates finds him waiting for a client by the statue of Sir Thomas Lilliput?
Bowler hat.
A deer stalker. In Hide My Eyes, what does Jeremy Hawker leave on the table in the cafe which gives him away?
Wallet.
Yes, I think I need a little more.
A letter. Wallet with letter in it.
Whose wallet?
The solicitor that he's murdered.
Matthew Phillipson's wallet, yes. What is the name of Campion and Amanda's son who makes several startling appearances in The Beckoning Lady?
Rupert.
Yes. In the case of the late Pig, what is the name of the village to which Campion is summoned to attend the funeral of the school bully, Pig Peters?
Pass.
In Cargo of Eagles, what is occasionally worn by Target Burroughs to cover a physical peculiarity that makes him instantly recognisable?
A glass eye.
Something over the glass eye.
Pass.
In which of the novels do the old lag... I've started, so I shall finish. In which of the novels do the old lag Marges Fontaine Lug and the policeman Stanislaus Oates first appear?
Look to the lady.
Mystery Mile. You had 5 passes. In Cargo of the Eagles, it was an eye patch he wore over his glass eye. In the case of the late Pig, the village was Keepsake. The legend that we were looking for was Happy and Gay. And the Allington novel filmed 50 years ago was Tiger in the Smoke. And Guffey Randall hit the driver in the face with his riding crop. 5 passes, you had 6 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Brian Doherty.
Your occupation?
Maths tutor.
Your subject last time was the city of Moscow. This time it is?
Erwin Schrödinger.
2 minutes on Erwin Schrödinger, starting now. What was the address of the house in the Erdbeck district of Vienna where Schrödinger was born on the 12th of August 1887?
Glückgasse 3.
Postelgasse 15. About which professor of theoretical physics at the University of Vienna did Schrödinger write that no other person had a stronger influence on me except perhaps my father?
Fritz Hasen, Earl.
Correct. Whose 1924 proposal of the dual wave particle nature of matter led Schrödinger to develop his wave equation describing the behavior of such a system?
Louis de Broglie.
Correct. With whom did Schrödinger share the 1933 Nobel Prize for Physics for the discovery of new productive forms of atomic theory?
Paul Dirac.
Correct. What was the name of Schrödinger's great-grandmother whom he met on a visit to England in 1898 when he was 10?
Giorgio.
Anne Russell. From which university was Schrödinger dismissed from his post on 26th of August 1938 by the Nazis for political unreliability?
Graz.
Correct. Schrödinger's cat paradox first appeared in section 5 of which paper, first published in Die Naturwissenschaften in 1935?
Present situation in quantum mechanics.
Correct. In which suburb of Dublin was the house where the Schrödingers lived for 17 years from 1940 to 57?
Clontarf.
Correct. What was the title of Schrödinger's personal account of his philosophy of life that essentially consists of 2 essays, one written in 1925 and the other in 1960?
Meine Weltansicht.
Yes, My Worldview. What was the title of Schrödinger's first paper on colour that was submitted to Annalen der Physik just before Christmas 1919?
Pass.
Schrödinger's principal research between 1941 and 1944 was devoted to whose classical non-linear electrodynamics theory, originally published in 1934?
Einstein.
No, Born and Infeld. What was the catchy title chosen by Schrödinger for the talk he recorded for the BBC in May 1949 on the subject of free will and mechanical causation today?
Freedom and equality. Relativity and equality in freedom.
No. Can electrons think? Which Greek letter was used by Schrödinger to represent, I've started so I shall finish, to represent the wave function in his wave equation and has been used ever since?
Psi.
Yes, you had 1 pass. The title of Schrödinger's first paper was Theory of Pigments of Maximal Luminosity. So there. You had 1 pass. Brian Doherty, you scored 8 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
John Talon.
Your occupation?
I'm a theatre nurse.
Your chosen subject last time was MASH, the television series. This time it is?
British popular music, 1972 to 84.
2 minutes starting now. Released in 1977, which album by Elvis Costello featured the single The Angels Wanna Wear My Red Shoes?
This year's model.
My Aim Is True. Who was the lead singer with the Undertones before embarking on a solo career?
Pass.
Which singer-songwriter wrote the gospel classic One Day at a Time, originally recorded by Marilyn Sellers and re-recorded by Lena Martel, who topped the charts with it in 1979?
Pass.
Which French actor was pictured on the sleeve of the Smiths single This Charming Man?
Pass.
The fathers of the footballers Scott and Stephen Oakes and the high jumper Ben Challenger were members of which 70s pop group?
Shawaddy Waddy.
Correct. Nilsson's #1 hit from 1972, Without You, was written by Pete Ham and Tom Evans, who were members of which rock group?
Badfinger.
Correct. Which 1979 Thin Lizzy album featuring Gary Moore reached #2 in the UK charts?
The Boys Are Back in Town.
Black Rose. What name did Sid Vicious give to John Wardle, the original bassist with Public Image Limited that he still uses today?
Jar Wobble.
Yes. Which song originally recorded by Bob Marley and the Wailers did Eric Clapton have a top 10 hit with in 1974?
I Shot the Sheriff.
Yes. Which ABBA song contains the lines, Mother says I was a dancer before I could walk. She says I began to sing long before I could talk.
Thank you for the music.
Yes. Who sang the lead vocals on the Crusaders' only British top 10 hit, Street Life, in '79?
Randy Crawford.
It was. Which guitarist who played on the Eagles' album Hotel California had earlier released an album under his own name called The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get?
Joe Walsh.
Yes. Which actress appeared as the fairy godmother in the 1981 video of Adam and the Ants' UK #1 hit, Prince Charming?
Diana Dawes.
It was. The three presenters of which children's television programme were also members of the group Brown Sauce, who had hit with I Wanna Be a Winner, released in 1981?
Tis was.
Swap Shop. Which 1970s group who took their name from a Southend amusement ride made the albums Chocks Away and Golden Mild?
Kersal Flyers.
Correct. Which band had its second #1 hit in August 1980 with Start, said to be inspired by a Beatles song?
Jam.
Yes, the Jam it was. You had 3 passes. The French actor pictured on that sleeve was Jean Marais, the singer-songwriter who wrote One Day at a Time, Chris Christopherson, and the lead singer with the Undertones before he embarked on a solo career. You've remembered it now, haven't you? It was
Fergal Sharkey.
Fergal Sharkey. It never comes at the right time, does it? 3 passes. John Talon, 10 points. Well, that brings us to the end of our first round, the specialist subject. So let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 6 points, Wendy Forrester. 3rd place with 8, Brian Doherty. 2nd place with 10, John Talon. In the lead, a clear leader at the moment with 15 points, Don Young. So on to round 2 now, general knowledge, and if there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into account and the contender with the fewest passes will be declared the winner. If there's still a tie on points, then there'll be a 5-question playoff. So let's get on with the general knowledge round, and let me ask Wendy Forrester to join us again if she would, please. You are obviously interested in writers because Elizabeth Gaskell was your last choice, and this time it's Marjorie Allingham. So what made her the writer that she was? Because at one time she was hugely popular, wasn't she?
Well, she was a very civilised and amusing writer, I would say, and a very attractive detective.
Who was?
Albert Campion.
Do we know very much about him?
He was just very lovable and nice, and on the side of the angels.
Well, you have 6 points at the moment. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. What was the name of Ellen MacArthur's ship in the 2000 Vendée Globe single-handed round-the-world yacht race?
Maiden.
Kingfisher. Which former barrister was first elected as Conservative MP for Folkestone and Hythe in 1983?
Pass.
Whose arrangements on the 1954 album Young at Heart helped revive Frank Sinatra's singing career?
Pass.
The unknown informer who leaked details of the Watergate affair to the Washington Post was known by what name?
Deep throat.
Yes. What term is used for a seasoned shellfish puree flavoured with white wine, cognac and fresh cream, used as the basis of a soup?
A bisque.
Yes. Which legendary Australian cricketer died in February 2001, aged 92?
Don Bradman.
Yes, in anthropology, what name is applied to a member of any human group whose males have an average height of less than 59 inches?
Pygmies?
Yes. Born in Plonsk in Poland in 1886, David Gruen became his new country's first prime minister in 1948 under what name?
Pass.
What name is given to the science which deals with the uses, effects and actions of drugs?
Pharmacology?
Yes. In Norse mythology, which of the gods was responsible for the weather, agriculture and the home?
Freya?
Thor. The composer Puccini was born in which Tuscan town?
Florence?
Lucca. What is the title of George Eliot's last novel in which the title character saves a Jewish girl, Myra, from drowning?
Daniel Deronda.
Yes, the fleshy underground stems used for food storage by plants such as crocuses and gladioli are often treated as bulbs. By what name are they properly known?
Corms.
Yes, which British comedian's films were allegedly the only Western entertainment to escape censorship during the communist era in Albania?
Norman Wisdom.
Yes, what geographical features have formed in the process of orogeny or orogenesis?
Veins of gold?
No, mountains. So you had 3 passes. It was David Ben-Gurion, who was born in Poland, became Prime Minister, of course, of Israel, whose arrangements on that album with Frank Sinatra, it was Nelson Riddle, and the former barrister, you'll kick yourself, who got elected as Conservative MP in '83 was Michael Howard. There we are. 3 passes, you have a total, Wendy Forrester, of 14 points. And now Brian Doherty, please. So, you chose Moscow the last time. You have chosen Erwin Schrödinger. Terribly difficult question, this, but what did he do that made him wonderful at what he did?
Well, I mean, he's best known, obviously, for the Schrödinger wave equation, which is a description of quantum effects, basically. He obviously, at the end of his career, he got his face on an Austrian note. And, I mean, I've heard a transcript of a speech from an Austrian professor who says that everyone in Austria knows who Schrödinger is, but very, very few people know anything about him. And he says that's in line with a typical grand old Austrian custom, whatever that means.
Well, quite. Anyway, you scored 8 points with your knowledge of him. Let's see how you do with general knowledge, starting now. Which French engineer designed the steel framework supporting the Statue of Liberty?
Eiffel?
Yes. Which actor played President Josiah Bartlett in the television series The West Wing?
Pass.
The Lord's My Shepherd is frequently sung to which tune first published in the Northern Psalter in 1872?
Pass.
Which novel was Mark Chapman carrying when he shot John Lennon in December 1980?
Pass.
What was the name of the philosophy propounded by Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, which states that any action is right if it tends to promote happiness?
Utilitarianism?
Yes. In chemistry, what name is given to a compound formed by the reaction of an acid with a base in which the hydrogen of the acid has been replaced by metal or other positive ions?
Salt?
Yes. The margay is considerably smaller than, but closely resembles, which other member of the cat family?
Lynx?
The ocelot. Down Under is a biographical account of a visit to Australia by which American-born travel writer?
Pass.
Which small European state must have La Vella added to its name to give the name of its capital?
Liechtenstein?
Andorra. Who was forced to resign as immigration minister in April 2004 after unwittingly misleading people about a visa scam?
Pass.
In Greek mythology, what was the name of the artist who built the Trojan horse?
Ithias?
Appius. The name of which Grand Prix motor racing circuit means between the lakes?
Interlaken?
Interlagos. Which 8 words complete the opening sentence of Shakespeare's Richard III that begins, "Now is the winter of our discontent"?
Grown summer with this glorious...
Not quite. Made glorious summer by the son of York. What is the name of the peninsula that forms the mainland portion of Denmark together with the German state of Schleswig-Holstein?
Jutland?
Yes. Which girl's first name did Jonathan Swift invent from Esther van Homrich, a woman who was violently in love with him?
Vanessa?
Yes. Celebrated usually, I've started so I shall finish, celebrated usually on April the 13th by Hindus and Sikhs in northern India, what is marked by the festival of Baisakhi?
Diwali?
No, it is New Year's Day, or Punjabi New Year. You had 5 passes. The immigration minister who had to resign was Beverly Hughes. Down Under was written by Bill Bryson. The novel that Mark Chapman was carrying was Catcher in the Rye. The Lord's My Shepherd is frequently sung to Crimond. And the actor who played President Bartlett in The West Wing was Martin Sheen. You have a total, Brian Doherty, of 13 points. And now John Talon, please. So, MASH last time, British popular music this time, of the 70s, that is. This was also the period, of course, of glam rock.
Yeah, well, it was glam rock that got me interested in pop music. I wasn't particularly interested when I was a kid, although I remember the Beatles and people like that. And it was, I think, particularly the group Slade. They came along like that, wow.
Because, for those of us who...
I like the sound of Karangi guitars, I suppose, and it kind of appealed to me at age 13, 14, and I said, yeah, I do like pop music.
There we are. 10 points you scored with that knowledge. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. Which word for an anchored float serving as a navigation mark is thought to derive from the Middle Dutch for fetter?
Buoy.
Yes. David Brower, who died in November 2000, founded which environmentally friendly organisation in America in 1969?
Friends of the Earth.
Yes, in Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, what name does Viola take when she disguises herself as a boy and becomes Orsino's page?
Pass.
Which Italian word is used for the bands of mercenaries engaged to fight in the numerous wars between the city-states from the 14th to the 16th century?
Pass.
By what name is the black Islamic militant born Louis Eugene Walcott in 1933 popularly known?
Malcolm X.
No, it was Louis Farrakhan, otherwise known as Louis X. Which of London's bridges opened in 1862 is the oldest still in use and is painted green to match the seats of the nearby House of Commons?
Westminster.
Yes, patented in 1813 by Charles James Mason, what name is given to stoneware incorporating glassy slag, a byproduct of iron smelting?
Pass.
Whose novel English Passengers was named as the 2000 Whitbread Book of the Year?
Pass.
In April 2004, which Yorkshire player's hat-trick in the third test helped England clinch their first series victory over the West Indies in the Caribbean since 1968?
Matthew Hoggard.
Yes, which soup is popularly known as Jewish penicillin because of its reputed healing qualities?
Lockshall soup.
Chicken soup. Henry Fitzroy, Duke of Richmond, who died in 1536, was the natural son of Elizabeth Blount and which English monarch?
Henry VII.
Henry VIII. Which organ of the body was once thought to be the source of anger and melancholy?
Liver.
The spleen. Which Caribbean island is the original home of and shares its name with a liqueur made from the peel of bitter oranges?
Curaçao.
Correct. Which dramatist was responsible for the 8-hour stage adaptation of Nicholas Nickleby for the Royal Shakespeare Company in 1980?
Pass.
The name of which ancient city is applied by Rastafarians to the Western world and its institutions?
Babylon.
Yes. In 1913, the Austrian paediatrician Bela Schick developed the test named after him, I've started so I shall finish, to determine a person's susceptibility or immunity to which disease that mainly affects the throat?
Diphtheria.
Correct. You had a total of 5 passes. The dramatist responsible for that adaptation, Nicholas Nickleby, was David Edgar. Matthew Neal wrote English Passengers. It was ironstone that you get from that particular kind of stoneware. The Italian word used for those mercenaries was condottieri, and in Twelfth Night, the name Viola takes is Cesario. So, 5 passes. John Talon, you have 17 points. And finally, Don Young, please. And obviously in a very strong position with your knowledge of King Ludwig, who was insane, was he?
No.
Ah, so he's always called Mad King Ludwig,
He's
isn't it?
always referred to as Mad King Ludwig. I prefer what his cousin Elizabeth, Empress of Austria, said. The king was not mad. He was just an eccentric living in a world of dreams.
You say convincingly that he wasn't mad, but some in his family were. He had an auntie who thought that she'd swallowed a glass piano.
Aunt Alexandra thought she'd swallowed a grand piano made of glass. and she spent quite a lot of time in mental institute.
Well, you put King Ludwig in a different light for many people, I have no doubt. You know a lot about him. 15 points, no passes, no mistakes, which is most unusual. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes. With which country does Norway have its most easterly border?
Finland.
Russia. According to the popular story, which English seafarer, as he lay dying in Panama in 1596, sent his drum back to his home at Buckland Abbey?
Drake.
Yes. In Jane Eyre, what is the name of Mr. Rochester's house?
Pass.
In 1851, which French physicist proved that the Earth spins on its own axis by interpreting the motion of a heavy iron ball swinging from a wire?
Pass.
In Breakfast at Tiffany's, Holly Golightly visited which New York prison every Thursday?
Sing Sing.
Yes. Which composer's Symphony No. 1 in D is sometimes known as the Titan?
Mahler.
Yes. The Aster Novi Belgi has which alternative name because of the time of the year when it flowers?
The Michaelmas Daisy.
Yes. The Menin Gate, which commemorates the British and Commonwealth soldiers who died during the First World War, is in which Belgian town?
Ypres.
Yes. Which Swiss player, then aged 19, knocked Pete Sampras out of the 2001 Wimbledon Championships in the 4th round?
Roger Federer.
Yes. On which low hill in County Meath is the pillar that is thought to be the coronation stone of the ancient kings of Ireland?
Tara.
Yes. Which title was first held by the samurai leader Minamoto Yoritomo in 1192?
Shogun.
Yes. In which discipline is the prestigious Fields Medal awarded to people under the age of 40 who have carried out outstanding seminal research?
Physics.
Mathematics. In Greek mythology, the earth goddess Gaia gave Hera a tree bearing what on her marriage to Zeus?
Fruit.
Apples, specifically. What name is shared by a compass with legs used for measuring the inside or outside diameters of objects and a metal support for an injured leg?
Calipers.
Yes. On which island of the Bay of Naples did the Emperor Tiberius build the Villa Iovis?
Corfu.
Capri. Which Labour MP replaced Ted Heath as Father of the House of Commons after the 2001 general election?
Camdiel.
Yes. Which of his inventions, I've started so I shall finish, which of his inventions did Alessandro Volta demonstrate to Napoleon in 1801?
The storage battery.
The battery. Indeed. You had 2 passes. The French physicist who did that thing with the heavy iron ball swinging from a wire was Foucault. And Mr. Rochester's house was called Thornfield Hall. You 2 passes, you have 26 points.
Thank you.
So, at the end of the general knowledge round, the scores. In 4th place, 13 points, Brian Doherty. 3rd place, 14 points, Wendy Forrester. 2nd place, 17 points, John Talon. A very clear leader in 1st place with 26 points, Don Young. So, Don Young is not only tonight's winner, but he will go through, of course, to our grand final. Congratulations to him, thanks and commiserations to our gallant semi-finalists. Please join us again for our next semi-final and more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Tonight at 9, we bring to life one of Britain's greatest scientific minds. Don't miss Isaac Newton, The Last Magician, here on BBC Two.